1, 2, 3. What's wrong, Joel?
Rather.
What? What's up, you filthy cat? What's up, you filthy casuals?
Sorry, I didn't want to get annoyed, but that one really annoyed me because it was
Welcome
so
to
bad.
Casual Shenanigans Game, a podcast all about the irreverent love of gaming. I'm pushing through. All right, now, Joel, I thought that was a pretty good count. I didn't think there was anything wrong with that count. What was
so
wrong?
off. Okay. It's okay. That's all right.
So, this is a podcast all about the irreverent love of gaming. I'm one of your hosts, Jeremiah. Tonight, I am joined by Count Picky over there. I don't know. I don't have a better name. What's the name of the Count from Sesame Street? It's just the Count, isn't it? Yeah, it's just the Count.
I think he is, yeah.
The Count, Joel. Welcome back to the show, Joel.
Hey, friends.
And also welcome, big important E3 YouTuber, Dave.
The talent.
Sorry. The talent.
One more night.
Announced last, Dave. Last and best. Last and best. But yes, Joel and Dave are back from E3. We have plenty of E3 things to talk about this evening. But before we hop into the show, if you guys have never watched the show live before, come hang out with us. 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, youtube.com/casualshenanigans on Thursdays, not every night. That could have been confusing. Thursdays, 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. If you can't come out and hang out live and watch with everybody else with the awesome chat, you can go check us out on iTunes, Stitcher, Google Play Podcasts or Music or whatever it's called. A variety of different places, wherever quality podcasts are sold. Better listen to them now before they go back in the vault.
Get the diamond edition.
The Diamond
podcast.
Oh, yeah, we ought to do reissues. I'll go back and I'll re-edit them to recompress them and make them sound better. Wouldn't you guys be excited by that?
Remastered?
Yeah.
CSG remasters?
Yeah.
I don't think it's even possible you could even remaster,
We'll remaster all those original ones where
podcast.
you're using an Xbox 360 mic and Dave is sitting in a cave. We'll remaster those. It'll go great. But we are still at least a few years away from DayZ being released and our torment ending, along with this podcast. But for now, let's hop into some E3 stuff. Now, do you guys want to talk about our E3 predictions before we watch our film this evening, or do you want to watch the film first?
Let's do our predictions briefly.
Yeah, let's do our predictions real quick.
Okay, so if you guys remember, we did a bunch of E3 predictions. Partial points are okay. We had 3 main predictions with a backup prediction. I think my last one was my backup, so I will go ahead and remove that from the list. Three main predictions. Me and Joel had 4 predictions. The points don't really matter. Nothing will ever come of this, but let's see if we were right. So here was my first thing. My first prediction was Scorpio which is now the Xbox One X, which is a delightful name. The Xbox One X will support Windows Store apps, keyboard and mouse, and will be $500. It is $500. That's the only one of those things that's correct. So I will award myself 1/3 of a point. Dave, what was your first one?
Can I just do all mine at once? Because it's going to be quick. I'm doing mine at once. I was wrong on all counts. DayZ Beta was not shown quietly at E3. It was not playable, and no dates were announced, so I guess I got that part right. Is that 2/3 of a point, then?
Yeah, it wasn't playable, and there were no dates.
But it wasn't shown, so it's like the overarching one I don't get. But sure, 2/3 of a point. CDPR did not announce a new game. In fact, they weren't even there, and that made me super sad. No news of an Alien Isolation sequel either. I failed this year. I had like a hopeful list going on this year.
Yeah.
Which for DayZ, that's sad that like my hopeful list was like, we'll get a glimpse of something not playable for another year. That's all I want is just a peek.
All right, well, I'll go and do the rest of mine then, and then we'll kick it over to Joel. Forza 7 will be a launch window title for the Xbox One X, so I'll award myself a point. Microsoft did not show off their VR solution for gamers, so no point. And then my last one, Ubisoft demos the new Assassin's Creed, including the release date and minigame details. I don't remember if there was a release date, but we got the demo and the details. Was there a release date?
For Assassin's Creed?
Yeah. Yeah.
I think there is. Yeah. I forget what it is. It's like November or something like that.
Sweet. So I will take 2 1/3 points. Joel?
I was hoping for some AAA games to be revealed for PlayStation VR. We had Skyrim. We had a AAA game from the people who made. It's like a first-party Sony game that made that kind of like haunted house, kind of like Heavy Rain, but I forget what the Until Dawn. Those developers announced a game, and 2 others, and I forget the names of them now because we didn't get to play them. It was a busy week, but that was really exciting. And Fallout VR was reintroduced, and it's really legit, and it looks awesome and stuff. So it's like some really good heavy hitters honestly got announced. So that was really exciting.
Cool.
No Half-Life, no Portal.
Oh man.
No Valve.
Yeah, I know. I was a little sad Nintendo didn't announce a new Animal Crossing game for Nintendo Switch.
But they announced that Mario Odyssey.
Yeah.
Is that the name?
Mario Odyssey was shown off because that was announced actually before.
Oh.
But they showed off a new Yoshi game. They showed off a new Kirby game that looked phenomenal. And a bomb-ass sweet reveal was that they're actually making a legitimate Pokemon RPG game for the Nintendo Switch. That's not like a offshoot game. It's not like a battle mode game. It's like a legitimate, kind of like what you'd see on the Nintendo DS, those really high quality games. That is really cool. Now, I'm not a massive fan of Pokemon, but everyone has been waiting for that. And that was like, it was so funny because in the reveal, he's kind of like, oh yeah, and by the way, we're making a full RPG Pokemon game for the Nintendo Switch. And on to this, people are like, what? So that's really cool.
Finally.
So that's awesome. The Nintendo Switch is really coming out swinging, I think. And then no Last of Us 2 trailer, so I lost on that.
Oh yeah, man.
Yeah.
You know, after looking over our list, E3 like feels more disappointing now. Like our E3 was gonna be great.
Yeah.
Sweet. All right. Well, this evening we have a little recap that our YouTube cameraman Joel and the talent put together. Wow, you both saluted at the exact same moment. That is fantastic.
We connected during that last week. We
During
did.
the trip? What is it? Is that
Yeah.
what I heard? It's on the trip we connected?
Yeah, on the trip. Yeah, we connected.
No joke. Look in the video. In our Airbnb, guys, he had like a personality trait over each one of like the Airbnb rooms, like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Like one of them was like wisdom. One of them, I don't know. Ours was amor, which is the Spanish word for love. I laughed so hard when I saw that over our door. It was fantastic.
But we have this video that they've put together, which we're going to watch here as a little recap of E3. Now, if you are listening to the audio version of the podcast, I'm going to cut the video out. It's just not going to work audio only. You'll have to go watch it on our YouTube channel, youtube.com/casualshenanigans. Almost at 2,000 subscribers. You should subscribe. But do you guys have the video ready?
Yeah, I mean, all I would say for people, are getting ready to watch this, grab some popcorn because it's a little documentary of a trip. So
It's fun.
yeah,
It's fun.
You can't just tell people it's fun. You got to show them it's fun, Dave.
Oh, we're about to show them it's fun.
Well,
All right.
we've had trust with our viewers for a lot of years. So when we say it's fun, it's going to be fun. Just like when we revealed that LaCroix commercial or the Christmas looting tree song, you're going to have fun. Trust us.
oh, the looting tree song that delivered.
Yeah,
Just like Santa
it
Claus.
does.
Yeah, that's true. You got some solid points, Joel. Sometimes I doubt you because you're like, how much money to kiss each other and go on a honeymoon with a bunch of money? But then other times you do come up with legitimately awesome ideas. So credit where credit is due.
Let's do this thing.
All right, you guys ready?
Yep.
Yeah.
All right, on 3. 1, 2, 3.
What the?
Hey guys, welcome to Los Angeles.
Alright, so we're about to get on the plane. And I'm having doubts. My expectations are way too big. I'm curious to know, am I going to regret this? What are your expectations for this?
My expectations, are hopefully to not die in a horrible way in our wine cellar. Alone.
I'm talking about E3.
Oh. Yes, it was.
waiting on your luggage, and Dave's already trying to get free Wi-Fi.
Not going great. Not going great.
How many viruses have you gotten already?
I don't answer that question.
We're all pretty sure that Dave lost his luggage already.
But the good news is I only had to watch a single exciting advertisement to enjoy 45 minutes of free, mildly regulated Wi-Fi.
You see the clothes he's wearing? That'll be the clothes he'll be in when he comes home.
Yeah, this is not my E3 uniform. So no joke, we just found our Airbnb. It's like 1 o'clock in the morning in LA. There's a police chopper circling 2 blocks away.
Where are we staying, Dave?
I believe in responsible budgeting. So I found us a very well reviewed wine cellar.
Lead the way. You first.
Here, Joel, let me help you out here. I'm gonna hold this real quick, camera guy. If you wanna. Dude, this is amazing. Yes. Joel, Joel, we're staying on the Norman side. This is so awesome. Freaking roll away bed.
Are you pulling rank here, Dave?
I think
Okay,
as the cameraman.
So yeah, we're literally in a wine cellar, but you know what?
This is awesome. This is legit.
We're on the stage of Norman. Oh my gosh.
E3?
Oh. Got your swag already.
It's premium vintage swag. This logo does not meet marketing standards, therefore it's punk. It's edgy.
Alright, so we moved on up from the cellar. We literally moved on up. Look who's gonna be sharing this bed.
So I've been trying a new thing this week where I try to make Joel as annoyed as possible by referring to myself as the talent as often as possible.
Ah, crap, I forgot. Can you grab me a water bottle? Because you're the help?
Alright, so I just got our badge. Dave's in line. I think he's getting his badge. So I think now all we have to do is just get in line. I mean, that's not easy, I guess. But yeah, that's what we have to do next.
It looks super nerdy, but I was like, that's gotta be much more comfortable. It's happening. Eventually.
booths. So Bethesda has their VR thing set up, which is awesome. I'm gonna do it. They've got to see cool monitors.
Several cool monitors. I almost touched one of them.
Almost just like I was touching.
That's all I needed.
Put that glove on.
It comes in 2 sizes. So it's very motion sensitive. So what you do is you keep it over here. Yeah. And then close it. And then to move left, right, you literally just move your wrist. Left, right, like this. And that's all. You don't have to move all your hand.
Just the hand.
Just the wrist movement, exactly. And that's going to move the helicopter. So you will see. Okay, yep, I can make it tighter or loose. It's good.
So the amount of subtle control there actually surprised me. Like within like 5 seconds, I already figured out exactly how much you had to move the stick. And it's kind of like driving. Like when you first learn how to drive, you learn like slight motions or what you want. Same thing with the gloves, slight motions on the stick, and it was awesome. Like I went pretty low and was just cruising, like looking around. I want that.
All right, so we're just taking a break, and then we're gonna head by, I think, Machinima, and we're gonna see what we can get. So, because all this stuff kind of like books up so freaking fast, so we're gonna try to see if there's any secret extra ways to get into Battlefront.
And it's actually killing the mummies. Like a lot of different devices. This one is like bar mechanisms.
Gotcha. It's like a Tesla coil.
Yeah, Tesla. It's named actually Tesla.
There you go. Oh, nice.
So, of course, there are still some glitches. It's not perfect, but it's
Like,
like
it's not backside.
So, how's your fame treating you here?
Well, what I've discovered is that on the ladder of success, YouTube is actually the dirt the ladder rests on. It means nothing. We're like almost at the end of the first day, and we're still fighting lines, but we've actually gotten inside of the Shadows of War booth. Hopefully we'll be able to try out the game here soon, so we'll see how it goes. But finally, some access. So it's the end of the first day. Expectations, first off. I had no idea what to expect besides crowds, so we definitely had that. I've heard in the past about the just ridiculous amounts of just music and lights and fog machines, where it's like a rave more than an expo, but actually this time it was kind of tame, I'd say. One fog machine over at the Mordor booth, only music at the front gate. Man, the crowds were nuts. It was like a 2-hour wait for Far Cry. It's actually kind of hard to find the smaller developers too. They're literally like shoved off to the side rooms, like excluded in their own little ghetto. We managed to find some at the end of the day, but for the most part we kind of just wandered around a bit shell-shocked. Literally had to like elbow through some crowds. Tried some gear stuff. I think tomorrow we're gonna try to get some of the bigger games going. But very surreal experience to actually be there. Just because you look at all of the interview setups as you go by, you've got Bethesda's booth and they have like a literal like raised throne platform with all the camera people on top of that to keep the crowds away. It feels like even though you're there, like you're just kind of flowing among all the going-ons that are happening like behind closed doors. Just because you're on the expo floor doesn't feel like you're necessarily in the midst of all the E3 happenings. Tomorrow though, we're doing more behind the scenes stuff, so we'll actually get to see some of that.
Okay, yeah, so
We got there pretty much, I'd say about maybe 40 minutes before it opened. Huge crowds, which I kind of expected that. I've been to a couple like minor kind of Comic-Con type stuff to sell my board game, but so I was kind of expecting a little bit of that. What was it called? The nebulafromhell.com? Yeah, there we go. Don't make me do that again.
I think you're also a filmmaker.
NormanTheFilm.com? No, so yeah, that was really fun. It was neat seeing everyone there. And it was funny, I told Dave, I was like, it was weird because I was kind of expecting a lot more kids while I was expecting a lot of fidget spinners. And I was really surprised I have not seen any. And Dave was like, it's actually, I think, 17 and above. So I was like, oh, thank goodness. I was really happy about that. But no, going in, it wasn't as loud as I thought it was going to be. Holy crap. Dude, that was close. It was very close. Oh my gosh.
Welcome to Los Angeles, guys.
It's crazy. It's crazier here. Oh my gosh. No, yeah, so we went in, we just kind of like cruised around, just looked at various things. It was really cool seeing the booths. I think my favorite booth so far was probably just seeing Nintendo's, because theirs is just huge. Yeah. It's just massive. It's basically, I think it's called New Donk City, that's what it's called, in Super Mario Odyssey. They just go all out. But it was probably the craziest. But it was weird because, like, I mean, we've seen E3 all the time on our computers, but it was weird seeing, it was really weird seeing, like, the Treehouse event that I've watched, you know, for many years, that most of them I get really pissed off and annoyed. And it was really weird seeing that being filmed there while I'm watching, and I'm like, hey, I guess, yeah, it was just weird. It's different. It's interesting seeing the behind the scenes. Xavier, yeah, I hate you so much. But no, we had a lot of fun, and I'm excited for tomorrow because we get to try out some games and everything. So, but yeah, Shadow of War was pretty cool. That was neat. I got to talk with it.
Shadow of Mordor.
Yeah, I got to talk with a developer, and it was just neat, just asking him just questions about like behind the scenes, what goes on about making the game, and I asked him like how much feedback they get. You know, like how do they take feedback from, you know, people saying, oh, it's too hard, it's too easy, and then they implement it into the game. So that's kind of cool. So
nice.
I'm looking forward to sleeping better tonight, and and then going tomorrow. Bye.
Beginning of day 2.
It's the beginning of day 2.
I just said that.
Yep.
All right, on we go.
All right, what's the plan for today?
Right now, it's plain as coffee.
Plain as coffee.
Every day, actually.
We're taking a different route walking there, aren't we, today? We're not taking the route that I took this.
You mean the route that you chose that we zigzagged under the overpass like 4 times? Like, oh, cool, we're past the interstate. Nope, back through. Wait, nope. Roads go this way, other side.
What? Oh.
That's almost good.
I thought it was a car being stolen. No, it's just their clothes shop.
But also, behind this building, someone's doing it.
Yeah.
As you might expect, it is in fact Call of Duty. There's guns, there's column airstrikes, there's shooting, there's fast-paced running, and it looks pretty good. It's Call of Duty. Thanks, Dave.
Alright, so we're in line for Far Cry 5. This is hour 1.
I think survival is now our current goal. Originally we were like, we're going to play Far Cry. Now I'm like, am I going to have to eat Joel at some point?
No. Dave. The guy next to us first. Then you can eat.
You're closer. so you're holding the camera, so like you only have one hand to defend yourself.
Well, see, I'm tilting it because now, like how I frame you, it's kind of like you're like a villain. You're like a villain. It's a villain shot.
That dramatic lighting too.
Yeah. Damn it, time to move again.
Oh. Day 2 recap. Let's talk about Far Cry first, because in the morning it was just Joel playing Battlefront, and he's just the camera guy, so you guys don't want to hear from him. We both played Far Cry though. It's like an almost 2-hour wait. The engine is most definitely like just one small step after Far Cry 4, which is fine, because Far Cry 4 was fantastic. Ran well, played well. The demo did not run well. I drove one of the trucks around the town, had like one small town area for the demo, and I swear my frame rate hit like 12 at one point. It was super low, but the game's like 8 months out. Gunplay felt good. There was some input lag, so there was like a weird disconnect between the good feeling shooting and like getting a hit. I felt like the guys wouldn't quite die like immediately. But yeah, again, it's in development software, and the visuals and the voice acting were already on point. That was well worth the wait, I think. I was assuming that I would enjoy it because I loved Far Cry 3, loved Far Cry 4. Didn't play the tribal one, not tribal one, the older time period one. Was it Primal, I think? Far Cry Primal? Yeah. Mainly because it came out so quickly after the other game. Like, I was already done with Far Cry for a while. It just came out so quickly. But I'm definitely excited for Far Cry 5. Battlefront 2. I played that second. Didn't do super great at the start, but ended up with the heavy clone trooper, which was a ton of fun. He has this ability where you can press both triggers and you get this like Gatling gun, and you can only use it for, it's like 12 seconds. It's maybe actually less than that. So you kind of have to time it right, but you can really just rip through a crowd of enemies. And I used it in a hallway at just like the perfect point. It was a lot of fun. As far as the blasters go, there's a difference in how they shoot for sure. They still feel like Star Wars blasters, but there's a bit more velocity to the blast bolts. And so there's a bigger difference between how certain guns fire. So there's a bigger velocity difference, it feels like. I think there will be more of a skill gap compared to the first game. And although I like those slow blaster bolts, I know Joel did too a lot in the first game, there's a bigger potential, I think, here in the second game for a little bit more of a like learning curve where you can actually get a little bit better at those blaster bolts and how the different guns perform. And of course it looks and sounds fantastic because it's freaking DICE. And yeah, excited for it, actually. Quite excited. That was most of day 2. Man, am I forgetting anything, Joel?
No, it's Mario.
I watched Joel play kids games. It's a good day. Douche canoe.
Well, oh, hey there. I got to play Super Mario Odyssey. That was a lot of fun. The wait was a little bit longer than we expected, but you know, Dave, we kept on having this discussion about it being a kid's game and his games being adult games. I just like to say that there's this thing called fun, which people who play Arma just don't know about, and I feel sad for. But Mario plays really well. It's super polished, so far in advance. It's typical Nintendo. It's honestly going to be incredible. I was allowed 10 minutes to play it, but honestly, I stopped after like 4 minutes. I was like, this is just really good. I don't need to, like, you don't have to convince me anymore. It was phenomenal. But Star Wars Battlefront, yeah, what Dave said, basically everything just seems to be polished a lot more, but one of the biggest specific things that I like a lot is the fact that, again, there's going to be no season pass. You just get all free DLC with the game. I forget, there's going to be some way you can probably spend money on something, but at least everyone who gets to play all the maps, the team, you know, the players don't get split. But also, you don't have to collect those little coins or icons in the game to spend on like shields or boosts and things like that. It's just a timer. I swear someone's being arrested or shot down or something. I mean, helicopters don't always mean something bad, but around here we just saw like a bunch of helicopters just hovering in the air. We don't know what's going on here.
They're getting closer.
Yeah, they're getting closer. There's one right there.
Exposure's gone.
Yeah, exposure's gone. We'll be gone soon. No, but we had a blast. Honestly, Star Wars Battlefront was super, super fun. Far Cry 5, honestly, I cannot wait. I mean, yeah, it's rough around the edges when it comes to frame rate and stuff, but graphics look phenomenal. They really, really created this feel of small town America. Like that's really cool. And again, living in America, like it's the last couple of Far Cry games have been like, you know, various like the Caribbean type stuff, jungles.
Not America, basically.
Okay, yeah, one was in Australia, but yeah, I don't think any have been in America at all. So, not that
Australia?
what's that? Yeah, Far Cry 2 was in Australia, I believe.
Must have blanked it out.
Yeah,
So yeah, to
yeah,
sum it up, guys.
we had fun.
If you got some kids who are looking for some good games for this Christmas,
No, Dave.
just go ahead.
Just to sum it up, please subscribe and like. Really helps us out.
Also, Joel's a child.
I'm a child.
Never changed.
I'm not a child at heart. I'm just a child. My heart's a grown man, but I'm actually a child. I have the heart of a child. Stop this!
All right, so day 3. We just got here. We have a meeting at 10:30 with Kingdom Come Deliverance. Those developers, we're excited to be able to see just kind of, I'm guessing it's going to be kind of like an inside sneak peek.
Yeah, because the game's been on pause on Steam for like a year now.
Yeah.
And they came out with a new trailer. Everyone was like just freaking out over it. But
yeah, when we went over to their booth yesterday, we got to see a little bit of just, you know, basically over people's shoulders of the game, and it's looking really smooth. Like it's running really, really well. So
it's running on consoles right now.
Yeah. We saw it actually running on a PS4 Pro. So yeah, and we're excited to just find out more about it because it comes out. I think it was February, right? It was very soon. So I mean,
and
comparatively,
for us, we got here super early. There's literally no one in line for this part of the convention hall. We passed by. Yeah. It must have been like 1,000 people in one side of the building to get in. Like easily 1,000 people. And we're just here quietly in the corner, just enjoying our super fancy coffee.
This place right here, Nature's Brew.
There's nothing natural in this.
No, nature. I saw it literally grow up out of the ground.
I mean, I'm sure it's real chocolate, but this is basically a milkshake. We made good decisions this week.
Yeah. So. Yeah. So after this, then I think the next thing we have really is Call of Duty, right? Or do we have something in between that?
Possibly an interview, but we're playing it by ear. So.
Gotcha. Yeah, it's gonna be a fun day. Come along for the ride. So, excuse me, sir, but do you have access to that top-off location?
Guys, don't tell anybody, but I'm currently stealing half of a cent of electricity from the man. Fight the power. But take the power. Fight the power by taking the power. Rock on. not going to the Nintendo booth back there because it's packed, and we already played Mario yesterday. What we are going to do, hopefully, is an interview with Kingdom Come devs. We played some hands-on earlier, and we're talking about it for like an hour afterwards. It is wild. Huge improvements to the game. After that, we're going to meet with Rebellion and try out 2 of their games. And then we've got a system of Call of Duty actually on, I think, PS4 at 3:30. This is like our most packed day so far, I think. Man, what a good way to start it out though. You guys, you see this artwork here? You see that? All of this. All of this pleases me. It's a good day to E3.
Right now, Dave is currently using the bathroom, and then we are going to head on over to Call of Duty, where we're hopefully going to be able to play a couple matches. I'm really excited about that. Probably doesn't sound like I'm excited, but I'm just tired. There's been a crazy amount of walking. But we're going to play some Call of Duty, and then we're going to kind of check over some of the smaller indie booths. There's a really cool art area we're going to check out. And then after that, I think we're just planning to take a short nap because we have a kind of a big dinner and stuff tonight. So, but so far we've had some really cool times here. Like there's some really cool people we met, really good interviews. It's very fascinating seeing behind the scenes of everything because I've watched E3 since I was like 12. So it's really interesting seeing like behind the scenes where they do interviews, where it's almost like in the middle of a crowd where they have giant walls and stuff like that, trying to kind of soundproof it. But it's kind of crazy. So, speaking of the devil, Dave's here.
You refer to me as the talent at all times.
Excuse me while I go drown in the bathtub.
What'd you get there?
Well, taking my brand new mixer spinner on its first ride.
Oh, you some tricks for us?
Oh, hell yeah. Doing some sick tricks.
All right, let's do some tricks, man.
Sick tricks. Ready? Ready? Ready?
What do you call that one?
I call that the spinneroo. You take your hand, you spin it.
I'm still going, man.
Alright, so final day. Dave's taking a quick shower. I just finished taking a shower. And we'll be heading out to our favorite coffee shop, which is Nature's Brew, which we've gone there pretty much every single day. And then, yeah, to the airport. Head back home. It's been a fun trip. Did you do your
Final top off.
I just topped off desperately in a scared I'm escaping LA fashion, and then I dumped it in the sink with the empty water bottle in my backpack because wait a minute.
So how much do you love LA?
LA was pretty amazing, but it honestly couldn't compare to the excitement and wonder that I have experienced today here at LAX. There were checkpoints, and our Uber driver drove like he was doing a tryout for, what was that movie? Transporter.
No. Or Fast and Furious. But specifically one of the drivers that crashes.
Yeah. We've seen helicopters buzzing. Our plane is like an hour and a half late at this point. LAX is definitely where the excitement is. They keep things interesting around here. More time.
Yeah, I got probed.
I'm sorry, what?
Well, no, it's your. I was interviewing you. My bad.
Something about being probed?
Being approved. I was being approved.
Because
I was approved for being probed.
Because you got pulled to a different line than I did. Like, you disappeared for a while. Yeah. Did they hurt you? Are you okay?
Okay, no joke. I get pulled aside, and the guy he says it so softly and tenderly. He's like, "Now I'm gonna be touching you here and here, and then I'm gonna wipe several times over here." I'm thinking, I just told him, I said, "I'm looking forward to this, sir." And he's like, "Oh, okay, that's the first for today." The guy in front of me looked around and goes, "Dude, hey, at least you're getting this for free. I paid for this last night." I was like,
LAX, where the action is.
Awesome work, guys.
What a grand adventure.
What a grand adventure indeed.
No, I hope you guys did have fun. It looked like it was a really fun trip. LA isms aside.
Yeah, I mean, well, I personally got to have a dream fulfilled. I mean, I've always wanted to go to E3 since like the first time I ever watched one.
Yeah.
Back in like probably 96.
How'd you watch E3 96? Was it on television?
No, dude. You had to watch VHS tapes if you could get a hold of one. There's VHS tapes that Nintendo would sell that would actually put out sometimes, and some of them would have E3 coverage, just small bits and pieces. But they would have like demo tapes showing Nintendo games like Banjo-Kazooie and like Diddy Kong Racing, things like that. So yeah, not online.
Well, Dave, what do you think? How many? You want to go back next year?
So we've been talking about it. Like, honestly, it was great, again, to be there at E3 just to actually be there for the first time.
And as a famous YouTuber, that didn't hurt either.
The Dirt Blittle Ladder, as you guys heard. I'm still proud of that expression, by the way. That was on the spot.
It is pretty good. It was pretty good.
It was on the spot and on point. Yeah, it wasn't one of those things where I'm like, oh man, I can't wait to go back next year. I'm like, if 3 months out from E3 next year, if I have tickets and I have like appointments for every single day, maybe. But it was a good chunk of money because the area is so expensive just to stay in for a few days.
Yeah.
And it's so crowded. Honestly, I think they need to work on crowd control for next year. I saw, according to PC Gamer, it was like 68,000 journalists, media, and industry people. 68,000 plus 15,000 members of the public. And it felt, wouldn't you say, Joel, just a little bit disorganized?
Oh yeah, I mean it was their first big E3 open to the public for a long time. So they definitely have some growing pains, I'd say. Because yeah, if we didn't have some of the hookups that Dave got, it would have been 4-hour wait for like 10-15 minutes of gameplay. And yeah, that's just. I mean, maybe I would do that for Half-Life 3, but like, no, I'm more than happy to wait for the game to come out. It's one thing if I'd say maybe even if every line you could guarantee was an hour, it wouldn't actually be that bad. You would just wait in line, talk with people, and you could play 5 or 6 games in a day. But yeah, if you had to wait normally like most people did, it was 4 or 5 hours. I'm like, ugh. Not
yeah,
worth
if it weren't for my manager at Machinima, Alan, oh man, he saved our bacon because we had like one thing per day lined up, and he filled in the gaps with like 2 and 3 appointments per day to play stuff, like getting us through lines to the VIP area at Activision and stuff like that. If it weren't for him, we would have been wasting so much time. It is funny though, Joel. Like some of our roommates were just public attendees to E3. And they were so enthusiastic. They're like,
oh, yeah.
I can't believe I'm actually here. It's like, I waited 6 hours to play Call of Duty. It was in the actual Activision booth. I was thinking to myself, like, I'm industry and I got free tickets.
I
know. I had to like
like,
pay my own way. I'm like this is cool, but like I don't know if I can say like, oh, this was totally worth it. Like I'm kind of on the fence. These guys are just like freaking out to even be here. I'm like, are we jaded? Are we old men now?
Yeah.
I don't know. It was a really cool experience, but for next year, I think a lot more would have to be in motion for me to want to go back, like to be super excited about going back.
Yeah.
And again, I think besides the huge amount of crowds, it was definitely a slower year. Like CDPR wasn't there, Bohemia wasn't there for developers that I was really excited to see. And there weren't any really surprise announcements at all. I don't think anybody had a super surprise announcement. There was a lot of cool announcements, but nothing absolutely mind-blowing. Actually, I asked a few of the other guys from Machinima at the Machinima dinner how this compared to previous years. And one of them was saying, like, yeah, this is definitely a slow year compared to most. He's like, the craziest one was the new console generation year. That was his first E3 he went to.
Oh, man.
He went to like a bunch of the press conferences, and everyone was just like, ah, the whole time, like freaking out because there was hardware announcements, launch game announcements, like free swag being handed out everywhere. He's like, it was straight up like ride the hype train the whole time. He was like, yeah, this year is super slow compared to stuff like that.
Cool. Well, I think it's now time for What Are You Playing This Week, the part of the podcast where we talk about what we're playing this week. I'll go first. I've been playing some PlayerUnknown's Battlegrounds. There's a 15x scope in the game, and I didn't know that. I got it in a drop, and I put it on a SCAR because I did SKS, but I had no ammo, so I put it on a SCAR. Dude, you can shoot people from so far away. Like, they're not even playing the same game as you. Like, they're fighting amongst themselves, and you're just waiting there like, kill each other, knock each other down. That's fine. I'll pick up the pieces. I didn't kill that many people, but I knocked down and like finished off
awesome.
Ton of people because we got down at the last couple circles. I didn't have a lot of I didn't know what was going on around me, but like the people way far away, screw those people. It's so far away with the 15x scope that like buildings aren't even rendering in fully. Like they're loading low poly models. Like it looks really
you can
ugly.
see the code actually flowing.
Yeah. I've also been playing some Vanishing Realms. Vanishing Realms is a VR RPG. Probably the best VR RPG until Skyrim comes out, in which case it's probably a lot better than Vanishing Realms. But it's a RPG where you go around and you do normal RPG, dungeons and skeletons and all that type of stuff. Old school, but it's kind of cool because it's in VR. So your inventory is like you look down and you have things hovering around where your waist is that you can like put swords and torches and whatever else. Like you just put them
Dave
in your
interacting with his loot. It's all over.
But that's kind of cool, and it's also cool that like you want to light a torch, you'll just light a torch. You want to light a torch up there, light a torch and throw it up high. You want to get around a skeleton shield, like you just duck and weave and get the sword in around it and fight them. Like the sword fighting, it's simple because I think we're not at the point where you can do a super complex sword fighting game in VR and people are going to be cool with it. But like it's simple, but it's pretty fun. So you can do a bow and arrow, you can do swords. It does use the teleport style of locomotion, which I'm not a big fan of in this case because you have to physically turn because it's a room scale game. You can't turn while you locomote. Basically, I don't like it because you actually have to stand up and move around, kind of like some Wii games that you do. Like, it'd be cool if I could play this room scale game, but like on the couch. But yeah, it's pretty fun. Dave, what about you?
Sorry, what's that? Jeremiah, I just see you going, is there any way I could just play this sitting on the couch, maybe with a controller, and just like on a regular TV? He's just like in VR, playing a console like on a TV, like, relaxing. Yeah, this is it. Wait a second.
There it
Two
is.
layers.
Yeah, I played some Battlegrounds this week too. We got a squad win on our first game of the night on Tuesday. It was fantastic. Had an awesome fight. But on more important news, I beat Firewatch this week after a year and a half.
Yay.
Nice.
Total playtime is like 7 hours because we were playing it like so late we had to keep restarting days to remember what happened during the day. Loved the game. Fantastic. One of my favorites from last year, I guess. Really enjoyed it. And also I played another 45 minutes of Nuka World, so only another year and a half until I beat that. Oh, new Battlefield 1 map dropped, and it is glorious. Novell Nights. Trench warfare, nighttime, lots of spotlights and flares. Tons of fun. Loving
Cool.
it.
Nice. Joel, what about you?
Edgard is currently borrowing my VR and PS4, so I've been playing a lot of Nintendo Switch. So I played a lot of
kids games?
Zelda. Dave, gosh, when I hear that, like I have to remember, you're Dave, you're my friend, but like it just it makes me angry. They're not.
Joel,
I'm playing Zelda and I'm playing Mario Kart.
Did you see like the basement dwelling neckbeard like to his mom like they're not kids games,
Yeah.
mom?
Mom, my friends think I'm serious. I'm a real good sniper. And then you just hear the mom going, it's okay, Frankie. I'll bring down your dinner in a little bit. Thanks, Mom. And don't forget my high C.
What on earth?
Next level, Joel. Next level.
That's about it.
All right. It's now time for the news.
News time.
I figured we'd start by talking about the Xbox One X. First, I wanna start with the name. I feel like they're just barely getting away with it this time. But like, where do you go from here? Like, you can't add something else on the end of that, like Xbox One X Pro or the Xbox One XS. Like,
it hurts my head.
exactly what I'm saying. Like, I'm not saying Microsoft didn't know what they were doing when they picked the name Xbox One. I'm just saying they're running low on options.
It'll
now.
be the Xbox Y, the Xbox One Y.
Or the
ZX.
games are in 3D. The Xbox XYZ. Ooh, full transform right there.
Xbox One Extreme. Yeah, that is very interesting. It's so weird. I mean, like I can understand, like, cause movies do it nowadays too, where they're terrified of adding a number on it. You know what I mean? Like, Fast and Furious is like one of like the only like series in Star Wars now. Or even though Star Wars now, they hide the episode title now, even though it does have one, but they hide it because people are like, oh, I got to watch 8 movies to catch up,
Mm-hmm.
But it's funny. It's funny with consoles though. It's like, oh, do I got to buy 6 consoles before I get the Xbox 5 or 7 or whatever? You know what I mean? Like, it's interesting.
I think Microsoft's reasoning in the 360 generation for not calling it Xbox 2 made sense because then they'd always be behind a number. So you have the PS3 and the Xbox 2. They didn't want that side by side in the shelves. That makes sense. However,
I never thought of that.
Yeah, that's their official reasoning why it became the Xbox 360 was they didn't want to have the Xbox 2 next to the PlayStation 3. That's terrible shelf value right there. But why can Microsoft not name anything? Like their reasoning for not naming it the Xbox 2 made sense.
That's true, because there's also the whole Windows 10 thing, Windows 8, Windows 8.1.
Windows Me, like it just stop.
I mean,
That's
I
true. I
think
really thought
like
about
just something like the
they're not-
Xbox Pro or something like that would have been just fine. I feel like, whatever.
Yeah. Well, they probably didn't go with Pro because Sony went with Pro. Like, you got.
I do say I hated the Wii U name because I was like, it sounded so weird. But it's one of those things where I'm so used to it now that I was actually trying to describe a game on the Nintendo Wii and I could not say it. I kept on saying the Nintendo Wii U. It just kept on going to the U. I was like, you tricked me, Nintendo. You got me.
All right, so the Xbox One X, that's Scorpio, of course. Everybody probably knows that. Let's talk about it because Microsoft, I think they've learned a lot from Sony's announcement of the PS4 Pro, and they are trying to sell this as like, yeah, that, that one. They say other consoles. Like, what other ones could people possibly be referring to? This isn't like smartphones. Oh, you mean the other guy? But like, unlike other consoles, this is a true 4K gaming console.
Shots fired.
Yeah, we'll get to that in a minute. But anyway, it's going to use the same Jaguar CPU overclocked to 2.3 gigahertz. It's a little bit faster than the PS4 Pro. 12 gigs of GDDR5 memory. 6 teraflop GPU. If you're curious, that could be as good as a 980 Ti, or it might be only an RX 580. Teraflops are not really the measurement of total graphics performance, and you can have GPUs that are like 30% faster than another one that have the same teraflops. Like it's just not a straight comparison of actual performance, but 6 teraflops is good one way or the other. Like, it's not going to be bad with 6 teraflops. In theory, that makes it maybe about 50% faster than a PS4 Pro. It is the smallest Xbox ever made, which is, I honestly was not expecting it at all. That's pretty impressive.
Not at all.
And it has vapor cooling. Like, for $500, they're putting a lot of stuff in here. Terabyte of internal storage. An HDMI port and a 4K Ultra HD Blu-ray drive. Interestingly, the HDMI port supports AMD FreeSync. Now, that doesn't mean games are going to support FreeSync, but that's pretty cool. Like, the CPU is not fast enough to do 60 FPS, but it could do 30 FPS pretty easily. That becomes less of a issue if you can suddenly do FreeSync. Like, that actually opens up this to a probably much more interested market of PC gamers. How many of them would actually buy one? Who knows? But I'm saying, like, the fact that they're saying even on the website it supports FreeSync, that's pretty cool. Supports DTS, Dolby Digital, PCM audio, Wi-Fi. The website does mention that it supports Wi-Fi, so that's cool. And an IR blaster. And it's pretty small. I'm trying to think, like, what size would it compare to if nobody's seen it? I'd say a little bit smaller than Xbox One S. Like, maybe about the size of an original PlayStation 4. I mean, it's not like minuscule, but it's a nice small size considering it's the most powerful one. And $500. So what do you guys think about all that real quick?
I don't know, man. I'm very leery about it. I don't think they have the games to pull themselves out of the hole right now. That's what I think. I like, again, I wouldn't actually mind getting one actually for 4K movies and stuff like that, and maybe the occasional game, but I just don't think they have, like, when they were showing off what's that game, Crackdown. That was one of the worst promotional videos ever I've seen for, like, a game. It was so stupid. It didn't really show you anything. It was like, I remember like 2 years ago when they showed off saying like the Xbox Cloud thing was going to make you could destroy everything. But I'm like, this looks like a really old game. Like, whatever. I don't know. So, but don't worry, PlayerUnknown's Battlegrounds is going to bring everyone onto it. I mean, I hope it does well, but I don't think it's going to matter, because as much as you can have higher resolution graphics or whatever, and they can have like legitimate, probably true 4K for a lot of their games, I don't think it's going to bring people. I don't think it's going to bring people back.
Right, and
until they have like solid, like, if there was like, if From Software came out with another big game on theirs, it's like, oh, it's just exclusive, like a Bloodborne type thing. They get 3 or 4 of those. That would be huge. But I think Gears of War just doesn't have the pull anymore. Other than, I think Halo still has a pull, but that's it, I think. But we'll see.
Yeah. And so some stuff they're doing well, but then they're also slipping on a couple other things, like they're saying true 4K gaming, but Dave has a news item that's going to talk about that in just a minute. But true 4K gaming, where action's brought to life, like they're hammering that home. Like, it's obvious they're saying the PS4 Pro isn't real 4K gaming most of the time. This is real 4K gaming, which is fine if it actually is. But like, again, if this is just the hype machine, then who's going to care? They have some HDR images on their website, which are, of course, just tone-mapped images that are not actually HDR in any way, because you can't show what an HDR image looks like on a non-HDR screen. So they're already making some of those mistakes. The big games they're looking to show off with it, the exclusives, Forza Motorsport 7, which will be, they say, 4K and 60 FPS. Then Super Lucky's Tale, State of Decay 2, Crackdown 3, and Sea of Thieves. Sea of Thieves and State of Decay 2 could end up being pretty good hits. Forza, of course, is going to sell really well. So, like, they've got some games coming out, not quite as much as Sony at the moment.
Yeah, a lot of those games looked really cool, but it was more of like, guys, ready? 4K gaming machine and side scrollers. It's like, and that's what I got. I mean, I got pissed so much at when the Wii U announced. It was like, sweet, finally HD gaming. Oh, Mario side scrollers. Okay, I don't care about 1080p. You could have it 480p again. That's fine. I don't care. But it was like, that's the thing. That's more of the different. I'm like, what? I mean, again, Forza Horizon looks really awesome. That's going to be great. But that's one game. You know what I mean? Like, I think
Yep.
Yep.
But that's a nice segue into Dave's news item. Dave?
Yeah, we got a little bit of news on some upcoming games for, gosh, it's even hard to say it, the Xbox One X. Extreme. What was that one console, or not console, conference at E3? Was it Konami? All I can think about is Microsoft sitting on the stage like, the new Xbox, it's extreme gaming. Project Cars 2 had a report that it will run natively at 4K and 60 FPS on the Xbox One X. I really hate saying that console name already. However, the developers have clarified, yes, this was a misquote. We're running sub 60 FPS at 4K, and will probably always be unless we drop live track and a host of other things. We'll probably upscale from something very reasonable.
Which
Again,
means
that's on their
not native 4K either. Like, well, not actually 60 FPS, okay, and not actually 4K. Well, that's a messaging problem. Now, this isn't a Microsoft studio saying this, but again, that goes back to the whole like real 4K gaming on these 5 games we mentioned on the website.
Yeah, and again, if that was an Xbox that you were allowed to tweak everything on your own, you could have 4K gaming, no problem. It's just you need to lower things. You need to develop around that. But that's what kind of frustrates me with sometimes game developers. It's like, sweet, oh, we have all this extra graphics, let's push it to the limit, and now you're back down to 12 FPS. It's like, dude, the game looks awesome. You could dial it down and it's going to be just fine. It's going to be awesome. And then you can run it at the native resolution. Like, it's totally fine.
The rat race of graphics, though, it leads the industry by the nose, I think. It really does. So I think in exchange for awesome looking marketing materials, developers are pretty eager to, round some stuff off the edges if they have to get the crazy 4K trailers and stuff like that. But on the subject of 60 FPS, even they were asked, are you going to have a locked 60 FPS then, if you're going to be having the resolution scale and not actually 4K? To which they said, we don't like the term locked. It would put us in first-party territory where chest beating is more important than a great experience. We'll be 60 most of the time in normal racing, and we'll push the consoles to and beyond their limits for more interesting racing, even if that means dropping a few frames.
Which is reasonable. Like, it's not...
Yeah, it's just... It's amazing to see, though, 1 week now after E3, the backpedaling has started. Like, because reality's setting in, and it's... You gotta explain how things are actually gonna be versus what was said on stage.
Right, and that's the part that sucks is, like, I have said many times, like, I like the idea of the PS4 Pro, of, like, a more powerful console, more options. Like, you want a better experience, you can pay not that much more and get a better experience. But that's only worth anything if the developers actually do something with it. And so far, most of the time, it hasn't been that big of a difference. Like, again, if you're buying one from scratch, yeah, you might as well pay a little extra, get the slightly better one. Like, no big deal. But so far from this, I'm not hearing something that makes me think like, well, if you have an Xbox One, you better sell it and go out and get a One X. Like, maybe, but $500 is pretty expensive to just play Forza and Crackdown and State of Decay and Sea of Thieves, like, and Super Lucky's Tale. Sorry, I don't want to forget that. Is that going to be good enough? Because if you want to play a bunch of like multi-platform games, why not just get a $100 cheaper PS4 Pro?
Yeah, because it comes out this fall.
Yeah,
that's what kind of blew me away, because I was like, okay, it's coming out this fall, and those are the only games they have announced because again, when before Red Dead Redemption got pushed away, pushed to next year. Pushed away. Can't get out of here. I was almost kind of expecting that would be amazing if Microsoft got a exclusive deal for like a year or something like that, or I don't know, even 6 months to have their game early running in 4K. That would be a huge system seller for it. But no, they didn't have that. So
yeah. Oh well. But other news. PlayerUnknown's Battlegrounds has been in early access for 13 weeks, and it has sold 4 million copies.
Oh my gosh.
Kudos to them.
Holy crap.
And that's before all of the vaulting, climbing, and diving animations that were shown off at E3, and the upcoming Zombies mode, and before there's any other maps or anything else. That's before all of that, and they have just rolled out a new patch. So, good work, guys.
And their servers are holding on despite the pressure. That's my favorite part almost.
Is that it works. Every night when we hop on to play, we are able to play. It's crazy.
Yeah, we got some lagging. What was it, like late May for like a week or so?
It wasn't terrible. It wasn't like game breaking. I mean, it's just a little bit.
It was noticeable desync, but that's literally like the only time. I know people were complaining this month about some server FPS, and they just released actually a server FPS patch, but this month it actually has been great for me. It's been very impressive.
Cool. And then my last bit of news is actually something that a listener sent in to us. Asher sent in. He said, "Hey, I don't know if you guys are into the Aliens movies, but for the newest one, they did a strange marketing thing with AMD for Ryzen. Thought you guys might find it funny. So there's this website called meetwalter.com where you can calibrate your Walter. Using the latest AMD-powered technology, Wayland Yutani will analyze your personality and biometric markers to discover the perfect Walter unit for your needs." Walter is the android in the movie. Intelligence powered by AMD Ryzen. Cool.
It's so random.
Whatever. All right, and who's got this last bit of news? Is that you, Joel?
No, it's actually me. I don't know if you read this article, Joel, so I put it in there for you. There's a really fantastic article, Jeremiah. I think we should link it in the podcast description. Who is this by? By Richard Lewis over on rlewisreports.com. Yeah, rlewisreports.com. That E throws me off every single time. It's all about Counter-Strike, skin gambling, and opening sites. The gambling sites have been cracked down on. The new thing is skin opening sites. The difference
What do you do on an opening site?
It's the same thing.
Right.
It's like a way of getting around Valve's crackdown, essentially. But his article is entitled, "How Case Opening Sites Scam Their Customers." And he has an interview with a back-end developer who did the framework for a lot of these major sites. Like, he did just a bunch of them, copying and pasting the code and changing the front end of the website for each owner, essentially. This developer goes into great detail on how these sites are completely set up to take your money, and how for almost all of them, the owners of the site requested what they literally called a rape button. And this is where he said that he felt so awful about developing this software that he decided he wanted to do an interview and just like throw them to the wolves, basically. With the rape button on the website, the site owners can click the button, and instantly, no one on the website can win anything good from the boxes. It's just pure profit for the site owners for as long as they have the button turned on.
What?
It rigs the results of every single case as long as the owner wants to keep that mode on.
Shocking. Counter-Strike gambling sites are rigging the results.
He also describes fun site features also requested by almost all of these site owners. Like, Joel and I were just looking at one of these the other week. Remember, Joel, it had like the winnings that were scrolling across the top, like shows you what everyone's winning on the site. Yeah, you can literally just pick 10 things from a drop down and it'll randomize how often it's dropping. And you can say, don't show any of these thousands of cheap skins being opened, just show the good items scrolling by really fast. You just click a button and it just does that. This article is I still barely get the whole concept. It's well worth the read. rlewisreports.com's got the article. And my second favorite part is in the comment section, which is still blowing up today, days after the article went up. There are tons of these site owners astroturfing in the comments. I use these sites all the time. I think they're pretty fair. Well, of course they're out to make a profit, but I think this article is really just not fair at all to the site owners. Like, it's just, it all sounds like the same person posting the same comment over and over again. It's fantastic. Yeah, well worth the read, guys. Check it out. Sorry to ruin your night, Joel.
It's time for something fun. 90 Seconds with Joel, a part of the podcast.
Oh, I'm excited for this. Okay, so go into the folder and make sure you have Last Horizon ready to be played. I'm just writing down the time stamp right now.
All right.
Okay, what I got for you guys is I have some fidget spinning poetry to read. No, okay, so I went on a forum and these two people were commenting back and forth talking about their fidget spinners. And man alive, I was just dying laughing because, well, let me just read it for you with this sexy jazz music in the background.
You let me know when you're ready.
Let me know when you guys are ready. You good, Dave?
I'm ready. Let's do this.
Okay. 3, 2, 1, go. My favorites are the one with no feedback. It is so satisfying to fidget with it and lightly touch a part of a spinner with a smooth spin. I don't really ever let it spin in more than 5 to 10 seconds, but I still vastly prefer the smooth ones with no feedback. I like how it feels like it isn't even moving and touching it to find out that it actually is. Obviously, it's hard to describe a tactile feeling with words. Yes, I think in your terms I'm talking about how the bearing itself feels. Do I feel anything at all? Do I feel a grindy, clanky feeling? Somewhere in between. In my favorite case, I feel a light, pleasant vibration that tells me it's spinning, but subtle, with no subjective feeling of grinding. Oh no, my mic is breaking up now! I'm gonna just keep on continuing with this vibe. I'm describing for a short time while it's in whatever state of dirtiness, but if it continues to get dirty, starts to feel grindy quickly. In short, I don't think it's easy to simulate the spin feel I'm describing with a dirty bearing for long. Another way to think about it, I can take a 1-drop 10 ball and it generates a tiny bit of feedback dry and a bit less with a light lube. The relative dirtiness hasn't changed one bit, but dry generates a bit more feedback when lubed. I far prefer dry, but I'm coming around to thinking those bearings are too low feedback for me regardless. That's all I got for you folks.
Hey,
Until
Joel.
next time on Fidget Spinning Poetry. What?
Hey, literally everything cut out. I couldn't hear anything you said.
What?
Were you like leaning too far back from your mic or something?
No, it's recording just fine.
As long as it's recording, must have been Skype. As long as it's recording just fine. I didn't want to mess it up. We'll just put it into the
We
final
couldn't
version.
hear anything. All we heard was sweet jazz, and you just going like.
You know what I'll do? I'll redo this for you guys after we stop the podcast because you got to hear this.
Okay.
I wonder why. I wonder if Skype was messing up or something.
I don't know.
That's so
Maybe
weird.
yeah. I mean, let me see. Did Backblaze just start?
yeah.
That's why it just started. Dang it.
It's clipping you a lot, Joel. I think Jeremiah's right. The guys did intervene.
What if I'll just do it twice and you can delete that part?
Well, yeah, do it right at the end. I like what you said because
Okay.
we're almost done with the show.
Okay.
Okay. It is now time for the comment of the week, where Dave thinks about the thousands of fans who got him to where he's at, going to E3, and and he brings some of their musings to you, Dave.
This week's comment of the week comes from Joel and I's latest Fallout video where I built a settlement at Kingsport Lighthouse. This excited viewer shares his comment as follows. I bet you guys watched SpongeBob and played with your dolls in the backyard when you were little. Retards. To which I responded, I was more of a Lincoln Log kid myself, but I never quite got used to the taste. That's our comment of the week. Thanks, man.
Douche canoe.
Don't forget, when you say it, you have to rock.
Whoa.
You have to rock the douche canoe when you say it. Like,
Going down the
douche,
raging
the
river of
rapids.
douche.
Yeah, basically.
All right, thank you everybody for coming out to be a part of the show. As always, you can watch us live Thursday nights, 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time on youtube.com/casualshenanigans, or you can write into the show at casualshenanigans@gmail.com. You can also write into Casual Shenanigans Tech, the show where Dave and I answer your computer build related questions, although I had to do an episode on my own this past week because Dave was at E3, so it was just 45 minutes of me. You ought to listen to some of it, Dave, because I was waking up, still drinking my coffee on a Saturday morning, and the grammar was not there. There was lots
Wait, you
of...
did it in the morning on a Saturday? Why?
When else was I going to do it?
Yeah, you sounded really tired.
Well, did it
And
help
it
you?
was
Did it still
so
help?
helpful. Yes, it was. Okay, here's what's funny, right? So I was listening to it in bed, and I was because I needed something to help put me to sleep. And I'm literally sitting here going, I'm gonna try to listen to this. I'm gonna try to listen to this. But the tech specs, man, that like immediately like turns my brain off because like I'm like, okay, I'm gonna do it. I'm focusing, and then like I'm like, how much time did it go by? And I don't even know what's going on now. Like I'm like, crap, I like glitched out. You're so good at it, Jeremiah, but it's just apparently something my brain cannot handle.
Seriously though, I have a rule. Even just doing commentary edits on the weekend, I do not do them before 12 p.m. because even though I've been up since like 8:30, I will still sound tired in the morning. Also, in the E3 video, Joel, I did not realize how tired we must have been until watching the video back. I'm like, man, we look like we have just been like absolutely so busy the entire week.
Oh, yeah.
It didn't feel like it at the time, but man, we sounded rough in the morning. Hey guys, we're at E3.
All right, everybody. Thank you for coming out. Thank you for being a part of the show. Episode 200 and a Big Casual Shenanigans original is coming in only 7 episodes, which is just under 2 months. We'll see you then. We'll also see you next week, if we're being honest, but we'll see you then. And as always, stay casual.